welcome to a new session at Graduate Guru. We are doing the topic final accounts of banking companies. अब तक जो भी हमने sums किए हैं, there we've done small workings like we did for NPA, we did for income recognition, etc. And now we'll be going to the full-fledged sums. But वहाँ पर भी पहले जो हम couple of sums करेंगे, that will only be for profit and loss account. Then we'll go to balance sheet, and then finally we'll move to a full sum where we have to make both balance sheet as well as P&L. So we'll read question number 9 first. Now when we are doing full final account sum, what I would want you to follow a system is that आपके पास जो sum रहेगा वहाँ पे आप mark करते जाओगे that कौन से schedule में कौन सा amount जाएगा. Because till you do that, आप पूरा hodgepodge हो जाएगा if you directly start with the sum without doing your markings, because you will leave out some amount या कोई amount बीच में छूट जाएगा, तो it will become a problem and then you'll have to insert it later on. So to avoid all that, what we do is जब भी हम sum पढ़ेंगे तभी हम mark करते जाएंगे that कौन सा amount कौन से schedule में आना चाहिए. Now this sum is for P&L account. और P&L अकाउंट में 4 ही शेड्यूल आते हैं. दैट इज योर इंटरेस्ट इनकम, योर अदर इनकम, योर इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस एंड योर ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस. जो प्रोविजंस है उसके लिए हम अलग से वर्किंग नोट करते हैं. सो हियर आई हैव केप्ट अ फॉर्मेट रेडी फॉर द P&L. वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन द P&L फॉर्मेट अर्लियर, सो मैंने वो फॉर्मेट ऑलरेडी बना के रख दिया है. एंड the schedule number I cannot change according to my sum. So हमेशा P&L का sum रहेगा, तो schedule number will be 13, 14, 15 and 16. And we'll not start with 1 because schedule number 1, 2 etc. are for balance sheet. So that we'll see in the later sums. So यहाँ पे ये 4 schedules हमें लगेंगे, that is 13, 14, 15, 16. So as I read the sum, we'll discuss and I'll tell you which schedule it will go in, so you can keep on marking accordingly at your level. From the following information, prepare profit and loss account of API Bank for the year ended 31st March 2020. The first thing is interest on term loans. Now for bank you have to be careful. जो भी interest generally loans पे होता है वो बैंक की income है. So this will come in schedule number 13 in your interest earned. So interest on term loans will go there. Interest on cash credit. Again cash credit is वो balance जो negative होता है उस पर भी बैंक को income मिलती है. So this will also be schedule 13. Interest on overdraft also schedule 13. Income on investments. Income on investments is also included in schedule 13. Other income में ये नहीं आएगा. Other income is all the different types of other income which is not directly related to investing activity or their banking activity. Okay, so income on investment also schedule 13. Interest on balance with RBI. हमने जो RBI के साथ balance maintain किया है, हमारा जो account है RBI के साथ उस पर भी हमें interest मिलेगा. So this will also be schedule 13. Then we have commission on remittance and transfer. Now this is other income. ये direct banking से related नहीं है and therefore this is shown in other income. So this will be schedule 14. Commission on letters of credit. This is also your schedule 14. This is also commission received but not directly related to banking activities. Discount on bills discounted. This is discounting जो बैंक करती है bills का, which I have already explained. We've done a few sums also based on bill discounting. So this is the income for the bank and this is its normal banking income. So this goes in the schedule number 13, the first schedule. Loss on sale of computers. Now even though it's a loss, इसे हम expense side पे नहीं बताएंगे. This will be shown in my other income, that is schedule 14 only. How to show it? I'll do that when we are doing the schedule. Then we have profit on exchange transactions. Again this is an subsidiary income, secondary income है बैंक की, so 14 schedule. Then now we have our payment. So interest paid on deposit. जो customers ने बैंक के साथ accounts maintain किए हैं, deposits रखी है, उस पर बैंक इंटरेस्ट पे कर रहा है. सो दिस इज देयर इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंडेड विच इज शेड्यूल नंबर 15. डिविडेंड फ्रॉम सब्सिडियरी, दिस इज अगेन अनदर इनकम जो बैंक को मिली है, इट गोज इन अदर इनकम, दैट विल बी शेड्यूल नंबर 14. देन we have all the other expenses listed and they are all in schedule 16, that is operating expenses. इंटरेस्ट छोड़ के बाकी सारे जो भी एक्सपेंस बैंक पे करती है, whether for running its business, for running its offices, etc., all that goes in schedule 16 operating expense. So I'll just read out the list. Auditors remuneration, directors remuneration, lawyers fees, publicity expense which is like your advertisement, salaries and allowances to employees, electricity expenses, contribution to provident fund. So this is related to salaries. So इन दोनों को हम साथ में बताएंगे, salaries to employees and contribution. ये क्या होता है contribution PF का? जो हम हमारे employees के लिए PF में उनका पैसा डालते हैं, that is this contribution. So that will go with salary. Printing and stationery, repairs and maintenance, and telephone expense. So all this is in schedule 16. Then they've given us some other information. Interest and discount on NPA is as follows. Now what is NPA? Non-performing assets. और non-performing assets की income हम तभी book करते हैं या show करते हैं in the P&L when it is actually received. So this information will help me to calculate my income which I have to show in my P&L account. So we have cash credit, term loans, overdraft and bills discounted. So ये चारों पर जो income है वहाँ पर they have given us two columns. One is the income earned and one is the income actually received. So हमें जो not received part है वो हमें हमारी income से निकाल देना है. The bank has recognized the following as NPA. So they've given us a list of NPA, again category wise, which we've already seen in earlier sessions. Standard, substandard, doubtful जो कि unsecured है, doubtful secured है for 1 year and loss. So these categories will help us for what? It will help us to calculate our provision for NPA. जो हमने last session में detailed sums किए थे based on this. Now we will use that concept and we will also calculate one of our major expenses, which is provisions and contingencies. The rebate on bills discounted on 31st March 2020 was rupees 5,000. So हमें already closing rebate दे दिया है. Closing rebate is not an income of this year. So उसे हमारे normal income से हमें निकाल देना पड़ेगा and I will show it in the balance sheet, which we are not going to prepare in this particular sum. The investments held were 12,38,000. Bank is not allowed to hold more than 25% of its investment as held for maturity investment. What does this term mean? Held for maturity means जब तक investment की life है, means suppose it's a debenture, तो debenture अगर 10 साल के हैं तो पूरे 10 साल तक the bank will hold those debentures. It will not sell it in the middle. That is what it means as held till maturity. So here what they are saying that जो total investment है उसमें से only 25% can be held for maturity. All other investments will be fluctuating investment जो temporary investment है जो हम कभी भी बेच सकते हैं. The market value of the remaining 75% investments is 8,89,000 as on 31st March. So this will help me to find out that investment की actual value क्या है. So I will compare the cost with the market value and जो कम है वो हम accounts में हमेशा दिखाएंगे. And if there is a loss, then we will write that loss off as our expense. So here we are supposed to prepare our profit and loss account from this information. So one by one we'll be making the schedule and after making the schedule we'll post the total amount to our respective head in the P&L account. So we start with schedule 13 and that is for our interest earned. So of course this interest also includes your discount. जो bills receivable के discount होते हैं, that is also included in this schedule only. So we'll see how to show our breakup. So first, under this, interest or discount on advances or bills. Now under that we have our breakup. So we have already marked our schedule numbers. So this will help us to prepare one schedule at a time. I already have the list. कौन से schedule में क्या जाने वाला है. So schedule 13 में first we have interest on term loans. Now here we'll show a small working. Why? Because जो हमें balance sheet, that is trial balance में जो amount दिया है, that is the total interest, and then from that they have given us NPA का amount. So term loan में NPA पे we have earned 203,000 and we have received only 45,000. So जो total हमने term loan का interest है हमारा is 693. This is all amounts in thousand. This is how you represent your bank amounts. They are always represented in thousands. So ये सब में already thousands में amount है. I am leaving it like that. Now from this, I have to remove वो interest NPA का जो हमें नहीं मिला है. So if you will see your adjustment number 1, and there we have a list. So term loan का ये trial balance से amount मैंने लिया. अब NPA के सामने term loan में they have given me an amount of 203. This is what is earned on the NPA. What does it mean? ये receivable है. इसमें से receive कितना हो गया already? 45. So I will subtract that. Now why am I subtracting this? This is the total interest earned minus what I received. So ये amount क्या represent करेगा? What I have not received on my NPA. This is total interest. सारा term loans which is standard as well as non-performing. Okay? So यहाँ से NPA पे जो मुझे नहीं मिला है, which I have not received, that amount I am removing. So this is total minus what I received. So this represents the interest not received on the NPA. Okay? And that is what I am subtracting from this. क्योंकि जो NPA पे हमें interest नहीं मिलता है, that I cannot show as my income in my P&L. Okay? So I hope you've understood this. I'll repeat it again. This is the total interest on the NPA. NPA of term loan minus what I have actually received. So ये क्या represent करेगा? What I have not received. And what I have not received, I am subtracting from my total income on the term loan. क्योंकि वो not received amount मैं income में नहीं include कर सकती. Okay? So now when we do this, first we'll subtract this. 203 minus 45, that is 158, and 693 minus 158 will give me my interest on term loan, which I can show in my accounts, which is 535,000. As I said, all the amounts are in thousand. Okay? So now let's go to the next one, which is interest on cash credit. Okay, same way working करना है. First you take your amount from the trial balance. So trial balance में cash credit का amount है 819,000. This is nothing but 8,19,000. इसलिए ये comma यहाँ पर है. Even though I am writing 3 digits, I am putting a comma because this is nothing but 8,19,000. Minus again NPA पे जो नहीं मिला है वो, so earned on NPA is 369 minus received on NPA is 180. So the balance we have not received, which I will subtract from 819. So 369 minus 180 and subtract that from 819, we get 630 as our interest on cash credit. Next is interest on overdraft. Again, same working. You take the amount from your trial balance, which is 338, and from the adjustment, overdraft ka earned is 338 minus received is only 113. So the remaining we have not received. So 338 minus 113, 225, and that you subtract from 338, you get 113 as your interest on overdraft. Now within this only I have to include my discount on bills also. For discount on bills also we'll show a similar working. So pehle trial balance amount, discount on bills in the trial balance is 37,000 minus, in the adjustment they have said we have earned 10, received also 10. So minus कुछ नहीं करना है because जितना earn किया है उतना ही receive किया है. But there is one more adjustment in discount on bills, and that is our adjustment number 3. The rebate on bills discounted was 5,000, and as I said rebate जो है वो इस साल का income नहीं है. This is next year's income. So यहाँ पर income से I have to remove the rebate. I will subtract it. If you remember your entry, जो हम closing rebate की entry करते थे, in the beginning we had done some sums on rebate, and there my entry was interest and discount account debit to the rebate account. Okay, so interest discount जब मैंने debit किया means मैं income से उतना amount कम कर रही हूँ. And they've said 5,000. My amounts are already in 1,000. So I'm going to subtract 5, not the full 5,000. Don't make that mistake. In banking company, all the amounts have to be written in thousands. So 37 minus 0, which is 37. 37 minus 5, I get 32. So that is our discount on bills. Now the second thing over here is income on investments. And that is directly given in the trial balance. There is no adjustment for it. So income on investments 378. Okay, and we have one more thing in this schedule, which is interest on balance with RBI. And that also has no adjustment. So directly I'll take that. 68,000 they've given. Okay, so we'll take a total of this schedule and we'll take it to our P&L. So 535 plus 630 plus 113, 32, 378 and 68, we get 1756. See how differently I'm writing it? I'm putting the comma after 2 digits. ये पीछे से 2 digits छोड़ के then you put a comma. That's how you show your accounts over here. So 1756 I'll bring over here. And then we go to our second schedule, that is schedule number 14, which is other income. Now in other income, first we start with the commissions which are given to us. Then we'll go to the profit or loss on certain transactions. So first is commission on remittance and transfer. no adjustment over here. I'll directly take 34 from the trial balance. Then next commission is on letters of credit. And that is also from the trial balance 53. Okay. Then we'll have our loss on sale of computers. This is a loss on sale of an asset. Okay. So here first the way to show it is profit on sale of asset minus loss on sale of asset. This is how our format expects us to show it. So अगर profit है उसमें से loss minus करना है, but here I only have a loss on sale of computers. So my profit is nil and minus our loss is 23. So this will be a negative figure which we'll show over here as negative. अगर profit ज़्यादा है तो you'll have a positive figure. अगर loss ज़्यादा है you'll have a negative figure. Okay. So that was our sale of asset, which over here in brackets you can write down computers. Then we have profit on exchange transactions. Again, you show it as profit on exchange transaction minus loss on exchange transactions. So this time there is a profit. Profit is 12 and there is no loss given. So minus nil and we have 12 as the net profit. Then we also have dividend from subsidiary, but usse pehle we have a last adjustment which talks about revaluation of investment. They have said that jo 25% investment hai, that is held for maturity and remaining 75% are my temporary investment. Or temporary investment ko generally we keep on revaluing every year. So here again profit minus loss on revaluation of investments. Now for this I need to do a comparison that mera actual value kya hai and that is the market value and what is my cost. So whether I have made a profit or a loss, I'll come to know in that. So first they've said total investments are 12,38,000 and from that 75% are the ones which we are revaluing. So we'll show working over here. Cost of investment. I'll again write it in thousands. So it's 12,38,000. I'll write it as 1238 into 75%. Let's calculate that. We get 928.5. So this is our cost of the investments and market value of investment is given to us directly as 8,89,000. So that is 889. So ये हमारा cost है. हमारे books में investment की value है 928.5 जबकि market में उसकी investment value हो गई है 889. So market value has gone down. That means it's a loss. So the loss will be 928.5 minus 889, which is 39.5. So this is the loss which I have to book over here. Since it's a loss, I'll put it in brackets. 39.5. You can also round it off, but generally हम points में दिखाते हैं because it's all in thousands. So this means it is 39,500. Okay. So these are our other income. Let's just check our trial balance if there was anything else which was in schedule number 14. We've taken the commissions, we've taken the loss on computer, the exchange transaction. What remains is the dividend from subsidiary. So that will be our last thing which we'll write over here. Dividend from subsidiary, and that is directly our income, which will be a positive amount, and that is 4,000. Let's take a total of this. This will be our total of other income. So where there is negative, जहाँ पे loss है, वहाँ पे हम minus कर देंगे. So 34 plus 53 minus 23 plus 12 minus 39.5 and plus 4, we get 40.5. So I'll bring that to my P&L over here. 40.5. Since there is a point over here, I'll add the point here also. So this is our income. Let's take a total of these two. We get 1796.5 as our total income. Okay. Now we have to go to our expenditure side. Okay. But before that, I'll need space to make those schedules. So take these two schedules down and then we'll continue. So now we'll go to schedule number 15, which is interest expended. Here there is only one amount given. Schedule 15, if you will see your list of trial balance, interest paid on deposits का एक ही amount है, which I'll take over here. Interest paid on deposits, and the amount is 1224. Okay, so that is the only amount. We'll take it over here. Yeah. Now we'll go to schedule 16. So let's go to schedule 16, which is our operating expenses. Now here I will try to follow the format which is given originally in the Banking Act. Okay, but even if you can't remember, generally जो भी items है, you can list it down. You're not expected to know everything right to the T in the format. I will try to put it as much as possible in the order in which it is there in the original format. So the first one is payments and provisions for employees. So here, as I said, there are two things हमने हमारे trial balance में देखा था. There is one is salaries and the other is contribution to PF. So salaries and allowances. Salaries and allowances amount is 558. And our contribution to PF, that is Provident Fund, that is 126. Okay, so that's the first one in the format. The second is rent, taxes and lighting. So we have electricity expenses जो कि यहाँ पे आएगा. If there is some rent given, that will come here. But here we only have electricity. So that is 21. Then we have printing and stationery. That is also a part of our list. Specific head दिया है printing and stationery. And we have printing and stationery of 42,000 in the trial balance. Then next is advertisement and publicity. Which includes our publicity expenses, which is given as 40,000. So that will come here. Then we have directors' fees, allowances, etc. So whatever payments we are making to the directors, fee, allowance, etc. So that is given to us. Directors' remuneration दिया है 113. Then we will take auditors' remuneration or fees. And that is given to us as 54. Then we have law charges or legal charges. So we have lawyers' fees over here, जो कि यहाँ पे आएगा, which is 41. Then we have postage, telegram, telephone, etc. So there we have our telephone expenses, the last thing in the trial balance, 36,000. Then we have repairs and maintenance. Which is also given to us in our trial balance. So repairs and maintenance is 23,000. So let's just give a quick check if we've covered everything in schedule 16 that we marked. Auditors, directors' remuneration, lawyer fees, publicity expense we've taken, salary and allowances, electricity, contribution to PF, printing stationery, repairs and telephone. So we've not missed out on anything over here. So we'll take a total of this and that will be our total operating expenses. So let's take the total. 558, 126, 21, 42, 40, 113, 54, 41, 36 and 23. We get 1054. So that is 10,54,000 if you read it as thousands. I'll bring that over here. Okay. Now what remains is our provisions and contingencies. Provisions and contingencies does not have any schedule. As I had explained when we were doing the format, provisions के लिए उन्होंने कहा है that one amount has to be given by the bank. The bank will not be questioned कि उसका breakup क्या है, कितना provision create किया है, nothing. So here what we have to do is, because we have to make a calculation, we'll not show it as a schedule, but we'll show it as a working note. So I'll show a working note for provisions on contingencies. Provisions and contingencies, which will include our provision on NPA. So here we have to do our calculation for provisions on NPAs. So जैसे हमने NPA के sum में किया है, we'll see what type of asset it is and accordingly we'll use the correct rate. So adjustment number 2, bank has recognized the following as NPA. वहाँ पे first one is standard. So let's do our working which we have been doing in those earlier sums. So first is standard assets and standard assets के लिए they've not mentioned कौन से sector का है, तो I'll use the last rate which is for other advances which is 0.4%. So on 1350 we will take 0.4%. So let's calculate that. 1350 into 0.4% is 5.4. Then we have substandard assets. And for substandard, they have not again mentioned anything. जब कुछ mention नहीं किया है, I have to assume that they are unsecured. I cannot assume that they are secured, okay, because that is a lower rate. I will always take the highest rate possible. So for substandard which are unsecured, the rate is 25%. So on the amount given, which is 504, we will take 25%. And that comes to 126. So that is our substandard. I'll put a 0.0. Then we go to doubtful. And in doubtful, the first one is unsecured. And doubtful में जब भी unsecured है पूरा 100% you have to make a provision. So doubtful unsecured is 90 into 100%, which is 90. Then we have doubtful which is secured and which is for 1 year. So doubtful, secured and 1 year. So for that we have our rate as 25%. If you'll remember your list, you have to remember these rates. These will not be given to you. So 25% of 23. So 23 into 25% is 5.75. And then finally we have loss assets, and loss are always full 100% provision. So 90 into 100%, which is 90 again. So this will be our total of the provisions. So let's do the totaling. 5.4 plus 126 plus 90 plus 5.75 plus 90. We get 317.15. This is our total of provisions. Now in some solutions you will find that जो हमने investment का loss लिया था, revaluation, that is also shown over here instead of there. But both the answers are correct, because if you are revaluing investments, you can show it as your in the other income schedule also. So this I will take over here now, 317.15, and we'll take the total of our expense side. So 1224 plus 1054 plus 317.15, we get 2595.15. Now this is our income, this is our expense. So income minus expense will give you your profit for the year. That is this, net profit or loss for the year. So let's calculate our profit. 1796.5 minus 2595.15. We get a loss. This time it's a loss. So we get 798.65 as our loss. So that's why I'm keeping it in brackets. We don't have an opening balance, so there is no brought forward, and this loss will only be carried forward. And when there is a loss, you cannot appropriate, हम reserve में transfer नहीं कर सकते, and even otherwise, इस sum में they've not told us that there is any transfer to reserve. So that is why I have not made the appropriation part of the format. So take down this sum and we wind up the session over here. Next session we'll be doing another sum on profit and loss account. Thank you.